everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Brandon Bailey here. Obviously, you're on my channel. Please subscribe, if you're new here, ring that bell so you get notified every time I'm going to be posting videos. I'm just on here to give an update basically on some things I'm going to be doing. Obviously, I'm still keeping my music alive, including my solo output. Got some new stuff coming up hopefully towards the end of this year, but for now, I just want to make some content on my YouTube, and I will be doing some album reviews and music reviews in general. It's going to start with albums, mainly albums that I own already, and we're going to go through my album collection, and then I'll be taking requests here and there, suggestions if people want me to review certain things. People can send me stuff, whatever, just get a hold of me and, I'll get a review going. But wanted to start reviewing some music. Maybe we'll do some song reviews later, get bands as they release new music from artists, different artists. I'm going to be trying to do pretty positive reviews. That's why I'm going to be starting with my physical album collection, stuff that I own, and then move on. I can do whole discography reviews if people want. We'll see how this goes. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video because there's a couple things that I want to be pretty prominent with my reviews, but I didn't want to have to explain it every time I do a review. So I created a little 5-point grading system for doing ratings, because a rating is different from a ranking. I can do rankings in the future, but for now we're just going to be rating the albums on a scale of 1 to 10, and it's going to be based on 5 points, which will be production quality, which can go on different levels. If the production's nice and lush, and that makes the album stand out and it needed that sort of quality about it, then that can really make the album, pop and make it really nice. But if it's, a more raw band and the quality is raw, for instance, early White Stripes stuff, if that stuff wasn't as raw as it was, it wouldn't sound nearly as cool as it does, in my opinion anyway. It really works and makes it sound good the way it is. So that's just one thing. The production quality, if it works and it makes it, great. But if it's too over the top, or if it's just too low quality, you know what I mean, then there's just mixing flaws and stuff that can hurt it. Yeah, I can see how that can drop the points in an album. We also have the cohesion, song cohesion. That's another thing that goes either way with how it affects the album's playthrough. So for instance, the White Album by the Beatles, one of my favorite albums of all time. Are the songs very cohesive? Maybe some of them, but it's a very long double album, and you can't say that every song leads into each other really, because there's very different genres and they invented some genres within that. So in that case it works, you know what I mean, because it's a very experimental album, that going into it, and you get really great stuff coming out of it. But sometimes a band can have a bunch of different genres in an album, and it can kind of mess up the flow, if it's just too all over the place, or if they didn't put the right flow in the right spots. You got all the bangers right up front, then in the middle you got a bunch of soft songs and slow songs, and then at the end it kind of do whatever. It kind of, I don't know, sometimes the cohesion and the song sequencing can really affect not the listenability really, but just the enjoyability of the whole album as a playthrough. Same way as you would write a set list live. I that's the way I try to look at it for my own music outputs. Is you want to listen to it how it would be nice to hear it live, you know what I mean? But also there's many avenues to take with that, with concept albums, trying to paint a picture in your mind, that sort of thing. So anyway, moving on from song cohesion, we're going to go to the audience. So the third point is going to be audience, and that's kind of a different thing, kind of more so about how did the album portray to the audience that the band aims to go for with that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, especially for instance, like bands who have albums of different genres, you know what I mean? And it's pretty obvious, like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, every album is like a different genre, and you can kind of tell like who they were catering to in a sense in terms of their fans and in terms of like their influences and stuff. But then you got like people that are just obvious, you know what I mean, who they're supposed to be catering to because they like invented a genre or something. Like for instance, like Green Day, like they should be putting out pretty pop punk like stuff, like pretty hard hitting, angsty, very catchy and melodic. Don't get me wrong, great guitar playing and drumming and all instrumental work. But like sometimes they put out albums that are like a little hit or miss, and you're like, who are they aiming to in this audience here? So you never really know. It's go that like I was just trying to explain. It just goes either way with that note there. We're gonna move on to the fourth point, which is going to be the instrumental skills and like any content of the album in general, like the lyrics, the vocal melodies, how even the presentation can go into this point, like how the album art kind of like takes you into the vibe of the music and just the overall presentation of the instruments and everything that goes into that, you know, that goes beyond the production quality and value. So and the fifth point is last but, you know, not least important, even though in my opinion it's the least important if you want to look at music subjectively or objectively even, is your personal experience. That should definitely be a point that goes into it. Did you grow up with the music? Did you know it prior to reviewing it? And how did it affect you throughout your daily life and that sort of thing, your youth? A lot of the music in my collection is actually going to be some stuff that I've been listening to for, you know, pretty much my entire life. 26 years of life here, so that's going to be a point that I add in there, and that can go in different things too. Like, also, I want that to mean, like, how did the album affect you while you're listening to it? Because a lot of these, I'm going to listen to them, even though I've heard them before, but see how the experience goes for me again, and then give you my reaction to that, basically. I wish I could do reaction videos on here, but, you know, probably get knocked for that. Maybe make a Patreon. We'll see how these go. I'll could do all kinds of different stuff. Do reaction videos. Do some cover songs or something. I plan on doing more guitar and vocal oriented stuff on here, but it's probably gonna be like more original stuff or just like basic music theory lessons and stuff like that. So see what's going on. Either way, look forward to doing some album reviews on here. I'm going to be starting pretty soon, getting a bunch of stuff going. I don't have a huge collection. Like, I don't have 1,000 albums or anything, but I think I'm pushing close to like 300 now. And CDs, I have like very few vinyls on me at the moment, so just gonna do what I got. I think I have like 260 or 70. I'll do a count and confirm that, but either way, subscribe. I will see you guys later. Peace and love.